Right now, as you're listening to me, somewhere out there is a guy who got laid off about 3 hours ago and is typing the words, "I'm humbled and grateful to announce a new chapter. Tears optional. Stock photo of a sunrise is going to be absolutely mandatory. And so I'm going to need to welcome you to LinkedIn, the professional network, the place for business, the platform we're all told over and over again that we simply must be on if we want to be taken seriously. And today I want to ask the question that I think a lot of you have been screaming into the pillow. Is LinkedIn insufferable? I'll save you the suspense. Yeah, I think it is, and I've got the receipts. Look, let me be fair for 1 second before I unload, because I'll never get the chance again. LinkedIn was originally a really good idea. A digital Rolex, a place to find a job, find talent, keep your professional history in one spot. 20-something years ago, that was pretty useful. Boring, sure, but useful. The problem is what it became, because somewhere along the way, it's for business stopped meaning be professional and started meaning you have unlimited permission to pat yourself on the back in public and everyone has to clap about it. And that's the thing that gets me. On any other platform, if you posted, "Look what I did today, look at me, I'm so amazing," your friends would stage an intervention. But on LinkedIn, that's just Tuesday. We've all collectively agreed that because there's a tie involved, it's not bragging, it's thought leadership. It's the most infantile dynamic dressed up in a blazer. It's, "I did a thing, look at me." Except the thing is a certificate you got for finishing a 2-hour online course. And here's the part that fascinates the hell out of me. You'd assume a network of over 1 billion people, and it is. LinkedIn's got somewhere north of 1 billion members with roughly 310 million of them active in any given month. You'd assume all those people are out there posting, sharing, contributing. They're not. Only about 1% of LinkedIn's monthly users share content weekly, roughly 3 million people. 1%. Think about what that means. Picture a football stadium with 100,000 people in it, and the entire time, the same single guy keeps running down to the field, grabbing the microphone and announcing that he's thrilled to share that he attended a webinar. Everyone else is just sitting there watching. That's LinkedIn. It's not a conversation. It's a tiny handful of people performing for a giant silent audience that's mostly just there to lurk and occasionally hate scroll. And what is that 1% actually posting? Oh my goodness, this is where it gets good. We've got people who have never run a business of any kind, never made payroll, never sweated a slow month, never had to fire anyone or fight to keep the lights on, confidently dispensing business strategy like they're Warren Buffett's mentor. You've got somebody who finished a basic intro course on some new technology yesterday, and today they're sharing a deep insight about it. Except the insight isn't theirs. It's something they read somewhere, half understood, and reposted it because it sounds profound. It's got that vibe of depth without actual depth, like a fortune cookie that went to business school. And here's the kicker, and this one's backed by actual research. A study by the AI detection firm Originality.ai found that 54% of long-form posts on LinkedIn are likely AI generated. And when they ran it again for 2025, more than half of long-form posts were still classified as likely AI generated at about 53.7%. The surge started right after ChatGPT launched. AI usage in LinkedIn posts spiked roughly 189%. Let that marinate for a second. Over half of the thought leadership on the world's biggest professional network isn't even being thought by a leader. It's being thought by a robot. The thoughts are not leading. The thoughts are not even theirs. It's machines writing platitudes for an audience that's increasingly machines reading them. Even when Elon Musk took a swing at it, he called the whole thing unbearably cringe. And when Elon is the one telling you to dial back the self-promotion, you might want to sit with that for a sec. Now, my favorite genre on the whole platform, and I think the one that exposes everything, is the fake vulnerability post. You know the one. Nobody on LinkedIn actually shows weaknesses. Nobody actually asks for help. What they do instead is this beautiful little magic trick where they take a brag and wrap it in a complaint or a humble little bow so it looks like a vulnerability. It's the humble brag. "I'm so exhausted. I've been turning down speaking engagements all month long. Honestly, I didn't expect to win the award. I just put my head down and worked." Sure, that's awesome. And it's the exact same energy as that interview question. "What's your biggest weakness?" Where everyone answers, "Well, I'm a perfectionist," or my personal favorite, "I'm a recovering workaholic." Oh, great, wonderful, you'll fit in great here. It's amazing that you've been able to survive caring so much. Here's the thing though, There's real science on this, and it is brutal for the humble braggers. Harvard and UNC researchers ran a whole series of studies on it. When they tested that biggest weakness question, 77% of the answers were humble brags, and only 23% were honest admissions of a real weakness. And the gut punch finding? People liked the humble braggers less than the straight up braggers, and even less than people who just plainly complained. Plain bragging at least came across as genuine. Let that sink in for a second. The humble brag, the entire native language of LinkedIn, is statistically the least effective way to make people like you. You're not getting the benefit of looking humble. You're not getting the benefit of the brag. You're getting an insincerity tax. You combine the two and somehow end up with neither. It's the only move in human social behavior where 1 + 1 = 0. And why does anyone like these posts at all? Let's be honest about the mechanics. When your network smashes that like button on your humble brag, it's not because they read it. It's not because they understood it. It's definitely not because they believe in it. It's because there's an unspoken treaty. I'll like your nonsense if you like mine. It's a mutual defense pact of vapidity. Tit for tat. You scratch my ego, I'll scratch yours, and neither of us has any idea what the other person actually said. It's the world's most professional circle of people clapping for things that nobody read. And the hypocrisy. Oh, the hypocrisy is really the part that sends me to the moon. We love to dunk on Instagram, right? Everybody's an expert on how Instagram is fake, how influencers are selling you a life they don't have, the curated vacations, the filtered everything. And we're right. But here's what nobody says out loud. LinkedIn is way worse. It's the most aggressive lifestyle faking machine on the internet. It's just wearing a lanyard instead of a bikini. I personally know people, and I bet you do too, who can barely drag themselves into work, who can't stand their micromanaging boss, who are actively, secretly job hunting on their lunch break. And those same people will post these glowing little odes about how much they love the collaborative culture and the incredible growth opportunities on their team. And then, this is the best part, 3 weeks later, I'm excited to announce that I'm starting a new role at a different company. You loved it so much that you left immediately. That right there tells you everything. The post isn't a window into their life. It's a billboard pointed at recruiters. And these are the same folks who will lecture you about personal branding when they don't actually know the first thing about it. Their entire branding strategy is just dumping the exact same lifestyle content they put on Instagram. The conference selfies, the team dinner photos, the airport lounge humble brag onto LinkedIn, slap #grateful on it and declare themselves an industry expert. Congratulations, you just posted a picture of your laptop next to a latte. You're basically Steve Jobs now. It's all one big rat race. Somebody in your feed went to a conference and leveled up. So now you feel like you have to post about your conference. Somebody wrote a blog post nobody will read, a white paper nobody will open. So you write yours, you post it, and watch it get 14 likes from people who definitely did not click the link. The whole engine runs on, well, they posted something, so I guess I should post something. It's not communication, it's just keeping up with the Joneses, except the Joneses are also exhausted and also faking it. So, and here's what you knew was coming. Let me talk about whether any of this actually works, because here's where it stops being my opinion and starts being my experience, because I got tired of taking LinkedIn's word for it. Everybody just parrots that LinkedIn is the place for business. We're told it's totally fetch for anything professional, hiring, marketing, leads, all of it. And I think that's been repeated so many times by so many people who never tested it that nobody stops to ask whether it's even true. So I tested it twice. First, hiring. Every single one of my actual hires, the real ones, the people who worked out, came through Indeed, not LinkedIn. The professional network built specifically for this exact purpose lost to a plain old job board. Then, advertising. I ran the same campaigns for my services and my courses across both platforms, head to head. And LinkedIn was the single worst performer I tried. I spent about 5 times as much on LinkedIn and got roughly 10% of the response that I got from Facebook. 5 times the cost, 1/10 of the result. You do the math. And here's the thing. The numbers back up exactly what I felt. Facebook ads run somewhere around 26 to 50 cents per click, while LinkedIn clicks typically run several dollars each, often 5 to 10 times more expensive per click. Now, LinkedIn's defenders will say, but the leads are higher quality. Maybe some giant B2B enterprise selling 6-figure software to IT directors works. I don't know. But for the rest of us mortals, I paid a premium price for a discount result, and I'm not the only one. So, has LinkedIn jumped the shark? I'd argue LinkedIn didn't just jump the shark, It built a whole personal brand around the jump and posted, "Grateful and humbled to announce I have cleared the shark. Here are 5 lessons the shark taught me about resilience." I'm not even the only one keeping score. There's an entire community dedicated to this, a subreddit called LinkedIn Lunatics, devoted to the platform's most insufferable content, with well over 500,000 members. People are collecting this stuff like baseball cards. And here's the tell that the rot goes all the way down. Even a former LinkedIn editor now tells people to stop opening posts with, "I'm excited to announce," and "humbled to share." When the people who used to run the place are begging you to knock it off, the shark has been thoroughly jumped. So here's where I land. I don't think LinkedIn is evil. I think it's a mirror. It just reflects back the most performative, anxious, keeping up appearances version of us all. And then it rewards us for it. And I think people are quietly, deeply tired of it. They're tired of performing gratitude that they don't feel for an audience that isn't reading on a platform that's increasingly written by robots. If you actually want my advice, post less, mean it more. And the next time you catch yourself talking about being humbled or grateful, just close the laptop, go do something real, and let the other 99% of people keep talking to each other. They won't even notice you're gone. That's it. Just go be a real person.